It's a minute gone past 8 right here from Urban Radio Night 4.5. It's the 3rd of April, Friday, the Good Friday, right here on Night 4.5 Urban Radio. Welcome to Urban Sports. Here are the headlines for some of the major stories. Super Eagles coach targets more foreign-born players ahead of June international friendlies. Lyon eliminates Wolfsburg to set up Champions League semi-final against Arsenal. Enugu State dominates third edition of the National Para Games Festival. More of these in the news. I am Banky O. Head coach of the Super Eagles, Eric Shelley, said to broaden the selection pool of the Super Eagles by targeting more foreign-born players ahead of the June international friendlies. The move follows the successful introduction of Emmanuel Fernandez, born in England to Nigerian parents, who marked his debut with a goal in Nigeria's 2-2 draw against Jordan's national football team during a friendly in Turkey. Sources close to the team indicated that Shelley considers the recruitment of foreign-based talent central to his long-term strategy. The approach is designed to blend the tactical exposure and experience of players competing in Europe with the existing domestic core, thereby improving the squad's overall depth and competitiveness. The coaching staff is understood to be monitoring several eligible players abroad, with plans to introduce at least 3 new faces during the June fixtures. In total, as many as 6 players are currently being assessed as part of the ongoing efforts to strengthen the squad ahead of future competitive engagement. Despite the emphasis on diaspora recruitment, Shelley is also expected to maintain a pathway for home-based talent. The Nigerian Football Federation (NFF) has appointed Akeem Busari as the new head coach of the Nigeria's under-17 women's national team, the Flamingos. Busari takes over from Banky, who previously led the team and oversaw a period of notable progress for the young side. Before his appointment, Busari served as head coach of Pacetas Queens, with where he gained recognition for developing young talent and promoting competitive football at the domestic level. Busari is expected to immediately begin preparation for the forthcoming qualifying fixtures, including the next cycle of the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup and African qualifiers, where Nigeria has historically been a strong contender. The NFF is also reportedly working to enhance technical support for youth teams, including improved training camps, exposure matches, and better welfare packages for players in a bid to sustain Nigeria's competitiveness in women's football. Eight-time winners Lyon overturned a four-leg deficit to eliminate Wolfsburg and set up a World Women's Champions League semi-final with orders Arsenal. Lyon had lost 1-0 in the first leg in Germany, but Lily Johannes scored early on to make it 1-1 on aggregate. Although the host could not get another goal in normal time as the game went to extra time, the French side finally got more goals as Mathieu Demane, Damaris Ugorola, and Tabitha Chawinga scored to seal a 4-0 win on the night and a 4-1 aggregate victory. Wolfsburg won 1-0 in the first leg of the quarterfinals in Germany last Tuesday, thanks to a deflected goal from Lynette Berensteins, who shot from 20 yards. Barcelona produced another emphatic Clasico display as they thrashed Real Madrid for the third time in 9 days to book a semi-final spot in Women's Champions League. The three-time winners had all but secured their place in the last four with a 6-2 dominant victory in Madrid last Wednesday, but they rubbed more salt in their rivals' wounds in the second leg at a sold-out Nou Camp with 60,067 fans watching as they scored another 6 to win 12-2 on aggregate. It comes just 4 days after Barcelona beat Real Madrid 3 goals to nothing in Liga F to move 13 points clear at the top of Spain's top division. It was fitting that captain Alexia Putellas opened the scoring on a 500th appearance for the club, poking home a rebound in the 8th minute after Mr. Rodriguez saved Ewa Pajo's initial strike. From there, the floodgates opened with goals from Caroline Graham Hansen, Irene Paredes, and Ewa Pajo, stretching the host lead to 4 goals to nothing before halftime. Graham Hansen lobbed Rodriguez for a second of the evening in the second half before Esme Brock completed the rout with an easy tap-in. Barcelona have now won 24 of their 25 meetings with Real Madrid in all competitions. The Catalan club will face Bayern Munich in the semi-finals after the German side knocked out Manchester United, the 5-3 win on aggregate on Wednesday. Police have released the body camera footage showing Tiger Woods after he clipped a truck and rode his car in Florida last month. The 15-time major winner with 50 can be seen cooperating with authorities and then hiccuping while he's being driven away in the back of the police car. He was arrested and charged with driving under the influence and submitted a written plea of not guilty via his lawyers on Tuesday. He was also charged with property damage and refusal to submit to a lawful test. Woods has been granted permission by a judge to seek treatment overseas and said he will be stepping away from professional golf to focus on his recovery and health. In the full video, Woods, who was wearing a blue polo shirt, shorts, and dark sunglasses, was filmed calmly kneeling on one knee and telling the officer, I looked down at my phone and all of a sudden, boom. Spanish cyclist Jomo Gardano is in intensive care after suffering serious injuries in a collision with a vehicle. The 23-year-old Spaniard finished 29th in the Tour of Catalonia last week and was 14th overall in last year's Volta a España. Gardano was injured during a training ride on Tuesday. His team, Caja Rural Seguros (RGA), said on Thursday that Gardano was airlifted to a Tolly hospital in Sabadell by helicopter. He was placed in an intensive care unit with serious injuries, where he's awaiting further evaluation. Spanish media reported that Gardano suffered a head injury after losing control of his bicycle when he hit a rock, which led to him colliding with a car. And back home, Team Enugu emerged victorious in the third edition of the National Para Games Festival held in Abuja, amassing a total of 55 medals comprising 40 gold, 8 silver and 7 bronze on the overall medal standing in the 10-day biannual multi-sport fiesta. Enugu State contingent on the day of the event showed class and dexterity and determination with the likes of Leko Abdullahi, Bose Omobami, Ganiyu Talat, Kende Lawal, and Emmanuel David, writing their names in gold in para canoeing, para table tennis, para swimming, and para athletics event. The team did not give room for any form of complacency to set in, as it recorded more gold medals in wheelchair basketball, para shooting, para badminton, and wheelchair tennis, while silver and bronze medals were also registered in some of the events of the competition. Team Enugu again proved its mettle in the highly contested para-athletics event, outshining and outclassing every state with 20 medals that included 14 gold, 4 silver, and 2 bronze. The Enugu State Ministry of Youth and Sport Development, led by the Commissioner Lloyd E.K. Kurimadu, congratulated the contingent, saying that the development is a true testament of hard work, diligence, and commitment. And Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu is set to attend the closing ceremony of the third edition of the National Para Games in Abuja. The event will take place at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, where the First Lady will serve as a special guest of honor as the competition concludes today. According to the National Sport Commission, Tinubu's participation underscores a long-standing support for parasport and athletes living with disabilities across the country. The 2026 National Para Games have brought together some of Nigeria's top para athletes from across the federation in what organizers have described as a successful and inclusive sporting event. The closing ceremony is expected to cap days of competition that highlighted talent, resilience, and sportsmanship. Tinubu has consistently advocated for sport development in Nigeria with a particular focus on inclusion and empowerment. She previously served as Grand Patron of the African Women's Volleyball Club Championship and has continued to champion initiatives supporting persons with disabilities, especially through sport. Her presence at the closing ceremony is expected to further elevate the profile of the Games and reinforce national commitment to inclusive sports development. In the NBA, San Antonio Spurs defeated Los Angeles Clippers 118 to 99 points. Portland Trail Blazers were too good for New Orleans Pelicans. It ended 118 to 106 points. Cleveland Cavaliers also recorded 118 to defeat Golden State Warriors by 7 points. Oklahoma City Thunder struck Los Angeles Lakers. They were well beaten on the night. Yes, the game ended 139 to 96 points for Los Angeles Lakers. For Minnesota Timberwolves, they lost to Detroit Pistons 113 to 108 points. For Charlotte Hornets, they won by 20 points against Phoenix Suns 127 to 107 points. That's all we have in the news. A talking point next. Alright, welcome back to Urban Sport on 94.5 Urban Radio. And yes, stories here and there, national team football closing, and we are back again with the heavy competitions in Europe. Now, for today, Rayo Vallecano will play against Elche by 9 p.m. in the Spanish La Liga. By 8 p.m., I beg your pardon, by 8 p.m. in the Spanish La Liga, Paris Saint-Germain will take on Toulouse by 7:45. The two games are set for today. Yes, and then the championship also resumes today as well. Games here and there, and yes, looking at some top matches they're expecting tomorrow. But before then, coach of the Super Eagles, Eric Shelley, yes, he brought in Fernandez to join the team. I think he brought in 3 or 4 new faces to join the Super Eagles last friendly matches. You know, the game against India and the one against Jordan. And for the one against Jordan, Emmanuel Fernandez, yes, scored the second goal of the Super Eagles in that game. In fact, at some point, it was the winning goal until we considered a late equalizer against Jordan. And he said he's going to explore more. He's going to try and exploit opportunities in Europe, in the world generally, to see top quality players join the Super Eagles of Niger, become a formidable team. And he said it's part of his plan to bring them together. And yes, we could tell that he's a good man manager. Looking at the last African Cup of Nations, the one that we couldn't win, that we got bronze eventually, you could see that he's a cool-headed coach. He has a good man managing skills, and players want to play for him. And we saw a different Super Eagles team under him. A more attack-minded Super Eagles side. We saw how he managed the case between Victor Osimhen and Ademola Lookman. In that game, and eventually we couldn't win the tournament. Maybe he also need to up his game tactically. We also saw that deficiency in his game. Not being able to make substitutions at the nick of time was also, but he was able to improve some players like Alex Ruby was spectacular throughout the African Cup of Nations. We saw bringing Akko Adams into the team. He also scored, in the game against India. So maybe he can do well with some of these players. But then we're also looking at lack of focus on the MPFL and some top players in the MPFL. Maybe they need to also play in bigger teams, but then we could not invest in the MPFL player for the African Cup of Nations to start games in and out of the African Cup of Nations. So that should be an area to look at for Eric Shelley, in as much as he's trying to bring in some players, like Otto Konko also is nationalized for like to Nigeria, so he could be in between the sticks for the Super Eagles in the near future because we've not gotten an appropriate yet brilliant replacement for Vincent Inyama, who still holds the record of the longest number of clean sheets in the French league. So we need to replace that. That's some story from Eric Shelley, what he wants to do with the Super Eagles team. Last night, Olympique Lyon turned it around. They turned it around to win against Wolfsburg. The game ended 4 goals to 1 in extra time. It was 1-1 in regulation time yesterday, but in extra time they scored 3 more goals from the 102nd minute, and then a second one 107th minute, the extra time in extra time. Then Chawinga in the 119th minute completely tore Wolfsburg apart, made them weak and exploited them. Barcelona did your business against Real Madrid. To make it all glorious and glamorous for Barcelona, they had a full stadium. They had a 60,000 capacity stadium. 60,000 67 fans came to watch them beat Real Madrid again at the Clásicos. There is no Clásicos for the female Spanish team because no one can kiss the last two of the Barcelona team, the Barcelona female team right now. No one is worthy to even kiss the ring on their fingers. That's the gulf in quality, in class between Barcelona and Real Madrid as it stands. So that's the business of the Champions League. Lyon will take on Arsenal in the semi-final. Barcelona women will play against Bayern Munich. It is perfectly poised for the final. Yes, we'll find out what will happen later. 0916205945. 0916204945. Congratulations to Team Enugu. They emerged victorious in the third edition of the National Para Games held in Abuja. They recorded 55 medals, 40 gold medals. But when I look at the names of the para athletes or para participants in the games, mixed names, so Yoruba guys, didn't quite see, you understand what I'm saying. See more of Leko Abdullahi, Bosa Mobamiji, Ganiyu Talat, Ken Dilawal, Emmanuel David, not names that he bear in the Southeast, but then they brought in the medals for Team Enugu. 0916205945, 0916204945. Those are the numbers to call to be part of the conversation this minute. I am tired, particularly tired of Tiger Woods self-sabotaging himself. I watched the body cam footage that was released also with Tiger Woods. We were thinking just last week, we were thinking that maybe Tiger would be part of the major this year. Is going to come back after 2 years, failing to make the cut in 2014, return to competitive golf. Maybe he can find his way back to golf. He's 50. He can still compete at this age. And then an accident, self-inflicted accident again by Tiger Woods. Yes, it is tiring, it is crazy. He's a legend of the game, 50-time major winner, like the second best ever. And watching Tiger Woods struggle like this, it's not healthy at all. He needs to find his way back emotionally, physically also. He needs to find his way. There was a painkiller found in his pocket. He wasn't drink driving. He wasn't involved in that. He was pressing his phone actively, looking at his phone while driving. A lot of us are victim of that. Okay, yes, and the car tumbled. In fact, after that saying, according to him, he spoke to the president of the United States, or the president of the United States also said he spoke to him after the accident. So it's just crazy watching Tiger Wood go through these roller coasters of unfortunate events, self-inflicted at some point, and it is crazy. He's 50. Is he ever going to be mature? If he's ever going to come back to the game and win us just one major title? Good morning to you. How are you, my friend? All right, go ahead. Yes. Yeah, they are Yoruba names. They are more Yoruba people. Yeah. Hello? 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 0916005945. You can call back. I can't hear you clearly. We shall cute 0916005945, 0916004945. Joachim Love is on the verge of accepting the Ghana Black Stars job on a short-term deal focused solely on the 2026 World Cup. Personal terms are now close to being finalized following extensive negotiations in the last 24 hours. The 2014 World Cup winning coach is expected to earn around 150,000 euros per month. Does it even make sense that they are planning for just the FIFA World Cup, which they might crash out in the group stage? Good morning to you.
Banky, good morning.
Yes, your name and location.
Someone calling from Mama.
All right, Samuel, go ahead.
But you see this Tiger Woods, now you know into the world can. For this side, they were saying I village people. Like when I heard that it was an accident, I said, Tiger Woods again. I cannot understand. I just 50. That's the fun part. He just 50.
He's 50. When I saw that news, I thought it was from a past experience. I was sad. I was, why, Tiger, why? And trust me, the media will feed on it. He's a black man. They will feed on it as much as possible and create a chaos around it.
If he's tired of golf and everything, she could go retire. We should not retire and face his life. I thought still after that is divorce. It's just been off, totally off. That's number one. About the women champions league, thank God I avoided them in semi-final.
Mm.
Thank God I avoided them. If it's not final, now one or something.
Now where you be, Abi?
Yes, no.
You
So
avoided
in a
them.
final, they can go either way.
Just like the last time.
You should have that is two-legged. Those women are evil.
No, yeah, I get it. I get it.
It destroyed my place like if Patrice do something wrong.
God, to beat Madrid 3 times in a week. Hey, Jesus. They scored, yeah, thank you. They scored, how many goals? 15 goals against Madrid in a week. Why are you harvesting goals like that? 0916005945, 0916004945, 09128945. That's the number to call if you want to be part of the conversation. If you want to text us at WhatsApp, you can do so by texting at 09128945945, 09128945945. Good morning to you. Yeah. All right. Yes, that's true. Yes, the names are legit actually, but I've not gotten enough information on why it's like that. The names are they are they represented Enugu State. They did. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Okay, another one is this. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't say the way some of our players, some players are integrated in the national team. Can you hear me?
I'm with you, man.
So, does it mean that we cannot even take one or two players or the world? Because I don't understand. It's now the work of the coach, at least, to go around the
Mm. But if they are not good enough now, it's not about just carrying players from the MPFL. If they are not good enough, what are you going to do? If they are not good enough, it is not about motivate them just to be part of it. If they are not good enough to be in the team, it's going to show. That's what I'm saying. Is the MPFL gifted and talented? In the MPFL, the quality that you've seen from the MPFL, does it reflect gift and talent? It does. It's not about it should. Has it reflected? Have we been able to cross out of? We only, I think, in the past 3 years, we've only had one team cross out of the group stage, cross into the group stage of the CAF Champions League. Is there not? It happened in 2013. It's not happening right now. It's, it's not happening right now. So, just like I said, yeah, it's not like he's not going to be including the boys from the MPFL. He's going to be doing that also, but he said his major focus is European boys in Europe. And trust me, the quality of game played is different from what we are currently seeing in the MPFL. There's a golfing class. Yeah, I'm with you, man. Let me ask you a question. Name two players you want from the MPFL. Do you watch the MPFL? I understand your campaign, but do you watch the MPFL? Let's start with you. Okay, I get your point. Invite them. Oh boy. 0916005945, 0916004945. You can text us on WhatsApp 09128 945 945, 09128 945 945. This one says, Good morning, Banky. Is it true that Chelsea coach has resigned? And what about Thomas Partey's case? Is he now back with Villarreal Football Club? He's been with Villarreal Football Club, and the coach of Chelsea has not resigned. I think he signed a 6-year contract, so he's not resigned. Good morning to you. Hello? Hello? All right. Yes. I don't. Mm. Mm. All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. There's been a lot of complaint about the quality of our league. Even when you watch the North African teams, that they have good quality, better, doing better. You look at Egypt, for example. When you look at South Africa, the South African league, for example, they have majority of their players in the national team. How far have they done? In fact, after the last African Cup of Nations, when they crashed down, they couldn't make it to the semi-finals. They had questions on maybe they need to export more players just for better technical know-how, better experience. You can't take a South African team to the FIFA World Cup to do what exactly? So now look at the progress of the Moroccan national team on the international scene, international stage. Look at the players that they parade, top quality players playing in top clubs in Europe. So it's not like you should not encourage the league, but you have to also go for quality. The national team is not a place where you come to grow, because they will call you up once you perform in your club and they expect you to be able to to translate that same energy. They expect you to be able to move that same way and perform like that in the national team. You don't have campaign of 3 straight months. It's just 3 weeks for me to tournament, and you have to do well. It's not a place where you come and learn. You don't learn on the job in the national team. You start learning from the from the league games, from your club, that you can now bring in that experience into the national team and build confidence in the national team. Good morning to you. Hello?
Yeah, good morning to you, Banky.
Yes, my friend, how are you? I've been waiting for your call.
Okay, fine. I think you have just said it for even the last one. It is just digital reflection of our league. So back in the days when Egypt conquered Africa, like they were 3 times in a row
Yes.
winners of the African Cup of Nations. It was not only three foreign best players, Abubakar, Nidu, and Banky. The rest was all drafted from their league. So all these things is boiled down to reflection of our league. If you go look at where we are numbered in African standing, in the chart, in terms of quality of league standing, down, 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 down,
Mm.
70%.
Yeah.
So it's just digital inflation of our league. You know, sometimes why we are attaching home-based gaffer to foreign-based gaffer is for them to look inwardly. What is the Daniel of Jose, the Ramos former coach, and the Rangers coach doing there? I know the whole players across the whole 20 Premier League it cannot all be bad. But now,
Mm.
to play, even if it's one,
What is the scouting system?
the scouting system,
Yes.
the whole 20 across in the that cannot have all players totally bad. That could still be 1 or 2 times. What is the daily Rangers coach like the assistant and former coach like the deputy doing there? That's what I attack them. That's how it goes.
You know that it's because of this call for home-based Super Eagles to be part of the main team. Why there was an home-based the Chan competition. You remember?
Yes.
You know that there's a Chan competition for home-based teams. Have
Yes.
we
And
even
they all
dominated? Have we?
baby won.
I remember some players, even from Rangers back then, Tony Shimaga, they drafted into the team, was good in the MPFL. Had some players like that. Olawanyi left the MPFL, left Rangers. He's playing in, I think he should be in fourth division in Turkey now. He went and joined second division in Turkey because the level, the quality of football in the locality and the international team, the speed of the football that they use, the glass where they play football is different, a different quality entirely. So all these things need to come into question when you are clamoring for an home-based team's inclusion in the national team, especially for a tournament.
That is just it. The LMC, the NFF, they understand to do your job. That's just the golden job. If I'm speaking for the election, last time I think we had a better building, we are think other than better. Come to clinic and the rest. In fact, they are getting worse after the best of them. Anyway, well, you're very funny.
Thank you very much. All right, on the WhatsApp, we have a message. This one says, "Good morning, Banky. Ghana sacking their coach and bringing in a new coach under 2 months to the World Cup. Does that make sense at all? I don't think so." Radio Ambassador Kingsley Kemiri, Upper Avenue in Greece, my Jerusalem. Good morning, Banky. Oh, happy Good Friday. Happy Good Friday to you too. It doesn't make sense to me. I prefer that they bring in someone that is already part of the coaching crew of Ghana, someone that is already used to the players for 2 months. For a 2 months project, it's going to be difficult. Good morning to you. Hello.
Okay, good morning.
How far now? How you doing?
I did, Papa. I did.
All right. Oh yeah. Now you we are going to take class too. Mm.
Start with the event here.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, to start with, we don't even play here in class. They play on the synthetic. to start with.
It's not all the
So
pitches.
when they go abroad to play, they play on the ground. If it affects them, the policy is different. Okay, how they get to it when we go outside in Nigeria to play? CAF competition call, CAF Champions League. How are they with their performance? How do they perform? Okay, sometimes they carry some of them go. If you can remember, they have got like some maybe 2 or 3. They don't even play. You are training with this boy, but you cannot even play among them. You cannot make your thing when you are being called up. Sometimes not even about calling them, but those ones are being called up at sometimes. How do they play? That is it. Me, I want them to keep them, but I feel like they are not good enough. That is my own. I
Thank
feel
you,
like those
Bishop.
days of John Demba, we know, but we cannot say argue that they are what class when they were taking them. We cannot say that.
That's true.
But the thing is that maybe the coach so
Found a way to make it work, but they could not continue on that level. You know, they could not continue on that level. Thank you, Bishop. I need to let you go now. I need to let you go. We are out of time. Thank you very much, guys, for the robust conversation on the show this morning. Return later in the evening, 7:30 p.m. on 94.5 Urban Radio 4 Urban Sport. Enjoy the rest of your day. Live in peace. It's Good Friday. Before I leave, the amazing sport fact. Did you know that Lionel Messi holds the record for the longest scoring streak by a player in top 5 leagues? Lionel Messi 21 games goal scoring streak in 2012-2013 season is that record. It was insane. 21 games, 33 goals scored and 8 assists. A GA of 41. That's the amazing sport fact. Thank you very much for joining this morning. Yagazi and Chimawan Sumba will be here for the parliaments by 9 a.m. Happy holidays. I am Banky. Oh, good morning to you.
Kamgbe 1960 anyị na-ewu ọtụtụ ihe ma karịa ụzọ na afara anyị wulitere ọchịchọ na olileanya iji jikọọ n'agbata oke mpaghara niile n'agbanyeghị asụsụ anyị niile na-asụ jollof rice karịa ụlọ anyị wuru ezinụlọ siri ike na mkpakọrịta ka ukwuu ihe ndabere echi gara
All this